All right, this is Obaid on behalf of V Electronics, and in this video, we'll be talking about the impact of supply and demand on employment and unemployment rate. Okay, now just like the supply and demand of a product or service, okay, you also have the supply and demand of labor. All right, so if we draw this on a graph, this is the supply of labor, and this will be your demand. The demand will be from employers and the supply will be from workers. So this is from employers. Okay, and this will be from workers. All right, and as the demand goes up, this demand curve will shift to the right. As the demand goes down, the demand curve shifts to the left. Okay, just like the demand for a product or service. Okay, and as the supply goes up, okay, the supply curve will shift to the right. And as the supply goes down, the supply curve will shift to the left. All right, now some of the factors that may impact the demand of labor can include but not limited to education. Okay, so if you have highly educated workers, the demand from the employer's end may go up. Okay, so this is one factor. Okay, and then you have cost of production. Okay, so let's say the cost of production goes down. So cost of production goes down. It may go down because the cost of raw materials, okay, went down, such as the cost of crude oil or gasoline went down, as a result of which cost of production went down in general, as a result of which the employer is able to produce more, as a result of which there is more demand for labor. Okay, so you have cost of production, okay, that may impact your demand curve. Now, it can also go the other way. If the cost of production goes up, let's say the price of raw materials, precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, or crude oil and gasoline goes up, then in that case, okay, the expenses go up, the operating expenses go up, the cost of production goes up. And if the cost of production goes up, okay, the employer may reduce employment, may lay off some workers. And we've seen that in the auto sector where workers have been laid off because obviously the output has been reduced for whatever reason. Okay, let's say because of tariffs and taxes. All right. So in that case, you also have government influence. Okay, so tariffs and taxes. So let's say because of government regulations such as tariffs and taxes, the cost of production, okay, goes up. And because this cost of production goes up, okay, the employer is not making enough profit, as a result of which the demand for labor goes down, as a result of which your curve will shift to the left. All right. Now, apart from that, you also have things like price ceiling. Okay, so if the government does set a price ceiling on a product, what's going to end up happening is, okay, the employer, okay, the supplier in this case, would be forced to sell at a higher price, okay, just like anybody else in the market. So when the employer or the supplier sells for a higher price, obviously he's able to pay his employees more or able to hire more workers. Okay, so in that case, the supply or the demand in this case, excuse me, the demand for labor goes up. Okay, as the demand for labor goes up, the demand curve will shift to the right. All right. Now, apart from that, you also have other factors such as the size of the population. And we've talked about size of the population in terms of demand for products and services. So if the size of the population, let's say because of birth rate or because of immigration goes up and the personal consumption goes up, in that case, you have more money circulating within the economy. And because there's more money circulating within the economy, the real GDP is going up. The real GDP is going up as a result of which, okay, the output of production for the employer and the supplier may go up. Okay, because obviously people are consuming more. People have more purchasing power to buy more. They have higher incomes. Okay, as a result of which, okay, your demand for labor will go up. Okay. Now, apart from that, you also have demographics within the population. So let's say, for example, you have the elderly population. okay, retiring anytime soon, as a result of which the demand for things like investment and insurance products may go up. Okay, and if you have the infants, okay, if you have more infants in the country, okay, let's say the birth rate is going up, as a result of which the demand for toys, the demand for childcare, so on and so forth goes up. So that's an example of demographics. All right. Now, apart from that, you also have taste or preferences. Okay. So, say, for example, for whatever reason, because of fashion, because of mass media, because of social media, the taste or preferences of people change. And because those taste and preferences change, okay, the demand for certain products may either go up or down. So, may either go up or down. All right. Now, apart from that, you also have unforeseen events, okay, such as natural disasters. Now, if there's a natural disaster within the country, and let's say you're producing, as a supplier, you're producing emergency supplies, let's say first aid kits, okay, so on and so forth. In that case, okay, the demand, okay, for those first aid kits may go up. Okay, so the demand may go up as a result of which, because you're producing those first aid kits, the demand for labor may go up. All right, and it could also work for Amazon FBA sellers, for example. If you're an Amazon FBA seller and you do decide to hire workers, in that case, what's going to end up happening is the demand for certain products may go up because of unforeseen events around the world, as a result of which you may end up hiring more labor. Okay, so in that case, the demand for labor may go up. All right, now apart from that, you also have economic expansion. Okay, so when I talk about economic expansion, we're talking about real GDP. And if the real GDP, for whatever reason, goes up, okay, obviously the supplier, okay, may experience a higher aggregate demand for his or her product, as a result of which, okay, the supplier may hire more workers, as a result of which, okay, the demand for labor may go up. All right, and you also have contractionary monetary policies. Now, this could be from the central bank. If they do decide to control the inflation rate by restricting money circulation, by restricting your GDP, your real GDP, in that case, what's going to end up happening is the real GDP will contract, the economy will contract. However, okay, foreign investments may go up because of low currency exchange rates. Okay, so in that case, if foreign investments go up, the economy will go up again. Okay, at some point, and not to mention your net exports will go up as well. Okay, so your net exports, because obviously it's attracting more foreign investors to buy products and services from the country. Okay, as a result of which, okay, your foreign investment, not just in terms of investment products, okay, but also in terms of buying and selling merchandise, okay, may go up as well. Okay, so let's just say, okay, your net exports go up, okay, because of low currency exchange rate, because of contractionary monetary policies. All right, now apart from that, you also have your supply curve over here. Okay, when we talk about the supply curve, okay, your um, supply of labor may go up based on few factors. Okay, we talked about cost of production. Okay, so when it comes to cost of production, if the cost of production goes up, okay, the supply of workers, okay, may not take a hit. Okay, however, okay, if the total number of workers go up within an economy, let's say the population goes up, then it's obvious that the supply of workers will go up as well, which means that this curve will shift to the right. All right, now apart from that, you also have, okay, other factors, okay, such as wages. So let's say, for example, the government was to set a price floor on wages, and let's assume that instead of paying, okay, $15, okay, now government forces the employers to pay $20 an hour. Okay, because of this new price floor, all of a sudden you have more workers who are willing to work. Okay, you have more workers in the workforce. Okay, workers that were discouraged before to find work, they're now rejoining the workforce. Okay, as a result of which you now have more workers, as a result of which the supply goes up, shifting the supply curve to the right. All right, and obviously, as more people graduate, more workers graduate, more students graduate and join the labor force, the supply of workers goes up. All right, so apart from that, okay, you also have other factors that we're not going to talk about in this video, but in short, okay, in general, okay, both the demand and supply of workers, okay, will go up and down based on economic relevant factors. Okay, and we mentioned some of the factors. Now, when it comes to all these factors, okay, we also have labor unions. All right, and this is what we're going to talk about in this video. We have labor unions, okay, that deal with all these factors. Now, what or who are labor unions? So, labor unions are basically a group of people, okay, organization or a group, okay, just like an association, okay, who are responsible for, okay, bargaining your rights, okay, so the rights of the worker, okay, who are responsible for making sure that the workers are not harassed at their workplace, who are responsible for making sure that um, the employment is secure at the workplace. All right, so that making sure that the employment, okay, is secure and making sure that you receive the wages that you're entitled to, okay, based on the kind of work that you do. Okay, so they sort of bargain your rights, they sort of bargain your wages, okay, when it comes to your labor market. So these are people, okay, who you join, okay, to make sure that you get the wages that you're entitled to, uh, that you're willing to work for, okay, in the labor market. And one of the reasons why labor unions bargain for wages and job security is because obviously union workers tend to stay in the company for a longer period of time, which may be more attractive for certain employers. Okay, so this is the reason why you have your labor unions. You have your labor unions that deal with all these factors and make sure that there is job security. You have job security and you earn higher wages. So they bargain for your wages. Okay, so higher wages. Okay, sort of like your flea market, except over here we're talking about wages, bargaining wages. Okay, making sure you receive the wages as per the market conditions. Okay, making sure that you're not underpaid. Okay, based on your skills and education. So this is higher wages. And apart from all this, okay, you also have labor unions that pair up with insurance companies. And when they pair up with insurance companies, okay, we're talking about, okay, employee benefits, we're talking about group benefits. Okay, so you have group benefits because of labor unions. You have group benefits, okay, such as your AD&D benefits, okay, such as waiver, okay, your waiver of premiums when it comes to a strike or a protest, okay, a waiver of premiums if you're critically ill, let's say you're in the hospital, okay, so on and so forth. Okay, so over here you have group benefits. Okay, and your group benefits may also include things like discounts on prescription medication, healthcare products, health services, so on and so forth. All right, so this is how, okay, you have your employment and unemployment rate, okay, being influenced by the economic conditions, and this is where the labor unions kick in when it comes to providing job security and higher wages. Okay, that's it for this video. On behalf of V Electronics, have yourself a great day.